Gospel singer Blair Walker and her husband Terrence are thanking God for a pregnancy miracle. Her doctor summed it up by saying, "Your God turned your tumor into a baby." And the happy couple joins us now. Blair, what a turnaround. Tell us what happened to you.
A couple months ago, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer. It was like a shocker to me. Of course, I broke down immediately, but my husband was just like, never going to accept it. Don't even worry about it. And of course, I always had faith, but something just like in the back of me was just really scared. It's like your worst fear realized. Even though the cancer was contained, I'm only 31 years old. So for me to have a hysterectomy at this young age, I didn't necessarily want any more children, but I didn't want to deal with everything that came along with having a hysterectomy this young. And so I just began to believe. And my husband just started telling me on a consistent basis, if you're sad, it's going to be bad. He would say that all the time, and I would get so upset with him. Like, really, I would just like kind of go off on you. Like, why do you keep saying this? You know, like, this is a serious situation, and you're like saying nursery rhymes, you know? But he knew something that I knew, but I didn't know it was going to happen for me. And I had so much pain in my body. He like stepped in to be mom and dad when I was going through all of this. He would get up with the kids, get them ready for school. It was hard for me to get out of bed because I just had so much pain. And the pain had actually gone on for much longer. I just didn't know what it was. I would bleed just all different times of the month. It would just be horrible, and I was just afraid. And when I went to the doctor, they told me, I decided to only tell my husband at the time because my family is really emotional. And I knew my mother was going to break down. I knew my grandparents were going to break down, my sister. So I just kind of like kept it in my house. And we just began to pray. There were several times where my husband would put worship music on. We had this little speaker, and he would put it on my stomach. And I mean, you could kind of tell him.
Well, for me, I didn't want to believe because I felt that if I believed she had cancer, that would make it true. And the Lord would just speak to me. And one night I was praying for her, and I saw a hand like scoop something out of her stomach. And then like that was when the next day she went to the doctor, and the doctor said that her cancer was gone. Now, I didn't know she was going to say that a baby was there too, but I had a feeling that the cancer was gone because the Lord had already showed me.
So you went to really basically what was a pre-op appointment for your hysterectomy and found out you were pregnant. Talk about that.
My husband had to stay home that day because my appointment fell around the same time where my son was getting home. So I was extra scared because I'm like, this is my support system. He's going to make everything okay. He's been encouraging me this whole time. I'm driving in the car, and I just said to God, like, I didn't even ask for like total healing. I didn't know what to say to him. I was just like, Lord, please, I need you to turn this around. Like, I can't deal with this right now. I don't want to deal with this. I'm a singer. It had affected my voice. It was hard for me to go in the studio and record. It was just horrible. And the industry would say things like, she only has one song out, or, you know, things like they didn't understand why I couldn't sing. And so I went to that appointment. I came in, the tech was in there, I had an ultrasound scheduled, and she said, we're going to measure the size of your tumors because we need to make sure that they haven't grown in mass at all. So I said, okay, made me come there with a full bladder. You know, they do 2 different ultrasounds. They do a vaginal, and then they do a stomach. She did the stomach first, and she starts scratching her head, and she's like, I don't get it. I'm not looking at the screen at this point. I'm just like sitting there, laying back, closing my eyes, like, Lord, do something. She's like, ma'am, can you go empty your bladder for me? Went and emptied my bladder. She was about to do a vaginal. She went in to do it. She called the other doctors in, and she goes, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on here, but is this the same girl? You know, like I had multiple tumors, and they were not benign. I'm talking about, I wouldn't say one of the worst cases because, of course, I don't know everybody that has it, but it was pretty bad. I mean, they had scheduled me for October 12th to go in and do an entire full hysterectomy. And the surgeon actually came in. He was there that day. And he goes, is this the same girl? And go get her files. Came and brought my files in, looked at my name, compared everything. I don't get it. The other doctor said to him, there was 2 techs in there plus a surgeon. Do you remember what she said at her last appointment? My God is going to heal me. I don't remember saying that. I was like repeating something my husband said at that point because I didn't know how I felt about the situation. And they did a little snicker laugh in total like disbelief, but like, hey, this is what you asked for. But it looks like your God replaced your tumors with a baby. And I was like, what? And they were like, ma'am, you're pregnant and your tumors have totally dissolved. I don't know how this happened, but congratulations. Are you going to continue your prenatal care with us? And I'm just like, I literally did not know what to say because you say you believe in miracles, but until it happens to you, it's just like something that you say. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And it was just like, it's still overwhelming to me. It's not going to get old to me at all because, like I said, and I didn't even want to tell this testimony because I knew that everybody would not believe. And it's hard to make people believe something so outrageous, you know? But I didn't feel like I necessarily deserved this miracle. And it is what it is. You know, you try to live your best life, but you make a lot of mistakes and you go through a lot of things. And you say, we want God to do things, but we don't always know if we deserve them. So I'm still in shock. I'm literally still in shock. And I carry this around in my purse just to show people this is what God did for me, you know, and this is my baby. And this is what God gave me instead of cancer. So all I can do is just thank him. That's it. It's just amazing for our family.
Well, it's an amazing testimony, and we're so happy for you. Tell us about the baby growing inside you. When's the due date?
My due date is May 18th. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited. I'm already showing like crazy. I don't know why. And we have 2 children already, you know, so they're so excited. My daughter thinks she's the second mom.
How are you feeling?
Other than morning sickness every day, I'm feeling great because I wake up every day and I'm like, I'm not going to complain about this. I'm not going to complain because I can walk. Like I love 6-inch heels and stopped wearing them when I was going through this pain, and people would ask me like, what is going on with you? Like you are bugging, you know, because you're not the same person. You don't show up to events. You're just kind of like, where are you? And I didn't want to tell anybody. I'm like in my bed. I stayed every day in my bed and I just sat there and I cried. And for him to even take that when I did complain so much when I was going through that, my husband, for him to be that rock for me and just say, stop. If you're sad, it's going to be bad. And he's going to fix this. And there were certain parts of the testimony that we didn't share to Facebook, which now I feel like, you know, maybe we should have, but it still has touched so many people. Like you think as a Christian, when you believe so deeply in God and you know that he's done certain things, especially when my husband said about he saw this vision of this hand reaching into my stomach, everybody can't, you know, take that in. So it just, my family is just favored. We've had miracles on top of miracles this year, and I'm just grateful. I don't know why he chose us. I'm not sure, but I've had women write me and say I couldn't get pregnant, and they've sent me pictures of positive pregnancy tests. You know, so I'm just like blown away by the way. And I never wanted to be famous. I never wanted to gain anything from this. I just want people to believe the way that we believe.
Well, yours is truly an amazing testimony of faith and a miracle, and we wish you the very best for your upcoming family, for the baby, and have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too. God bless.